Bloomsburg, didn't see you there.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Asensio Martinez.
And my name's Eliza Nevis.
And welcome to The BURG. Today we'll be covering 4 different segments that cover fantasy football,
Downtown Main Street,
a department showcase,
and sports. Let's head on over with the guys and talk about fantasy football.
All right, everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the BURG Fantasy Report. Week 8 is in the books. I'm Nick Fudel, your fantasy football professional here at Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. And today we had a pretty crazy week. We had Tua Tagovailoa torching the Lions defense, which is ranked 32nd in the NFL right now. Tua Tagovailoa, he was kind of questionable the last couple of weeks because his head got taken off twice in a 4-day period, thanks to the Miami Dolphins medical staff. But he was able to put up 29.18 points against the Detroit Lions. Derrick Henry against the Houston Texans, once again cooking them up, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's like the 200th time in his career that he did that against the Houston Texans. No surprise here, 34.8 points for Derrick Henry this week. A.J. Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles, proven to be one of the best draft trades in history after the Eagles traded away their first rounder to the Titans for A.J. Brown. 33.6 points against the Steelers. The Steelers have a pretty good defense, so this was a pretty surprising outing for A.J. Brown. 33.6 points, and the majority of it coming in the first half, so he really could have done a number on the Steelers. Maybe if the game was closer and they were still passing the ball. Tyler Conklin, the tight end for the New York Jets, 19.9 points against the New England Patriots. Patriots have been kind of off and on all year long, so it's always kind of a toss-up with what you're going to get with that defense. So 19.9 points for Conklin, but I doubt he'll do anything the rest of the season. Nick Folk scoring 21 points, the kicker for the New England Patriots against the Jets at MetLife Stadium. Obviously, you like it when your kicker goes above 10 points, so 21 points for your kicker. He's got to be probably the MVP of the week if you have him on your team. The New Orleans Saints defense shutting out the Las Vegas Raiders. They had 16 points this week, multiple sacks, multiple takeaways, and of course a shutout, so you get extra points for that. So of course, the NFL trade deadline just passed, so I'm sure that there's going to be a trade deadline coming up in your fantasy football league. So maybe it's time to get rid of those players that you thought would do good, that aren't really doing too great. Aaron Rodgers, a perfect example. You can probably bait someone really good into trying to pick up Aaron Rodgers, coming off of back-to-back MVP seasons, and he's Aaron Rodgers, of course, so I'm sure that a quarterback-desperate team would absolutely bite for Aaron Rodgers and possibly give you way more than what they should give you for the most overrated quarterback in the NFL today. So, it was a pretty wild Week 8 in fantasy football, so we'll see next week what Week 9 has to offer on the BURG Fantasy Report.
Thanks, guys. That was completely useless because I know nothing about football. Go Birds! Let's head on over to Downtown Main Street.
Thank you. My name is Sydney Stokes, and we're here at 4th Taco with Tanner Dilge.
I'm Tanner Dilge, and 4th Taco is my first standalone restaurant. It was a beautiful kind of culmination of the space being available and my dream. After we finished a project and sold a house, we had enough money to go. Back out of the shop, had some major fixes, and we keep the restaurant open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then on Friday, Saturday, we let everyone come in until 2:30 a.m. We try to maintain as many items here as we consider staples on the trucks as possible. We keep a couple of our snacks because they're fryer heavy off the truck, but other than that, we're mostly full service. But the numbers show the Gringo Tacos, and the crowd favorite is definitely the Birria Tacos. Good food, drunk kids, it's kind of a no-brainer win-win situation for me.
Thank you so much to Tanner and 4th Taco for letting us come in and interview them today. My name is Sydney Stokes, and this has been Straight Down Main. Back to you in the studio.
Well, I really need to head down to 4th Taco. I've been here for how many months and still haven't been. But now,
I'm a vegetarian.
But now let's switch things up and head to the president's office for the department showcase.
everyone, I'm Olivia with Department Showcase. Today we're here at Carver Hall with a special edition inside the President's office. Today we'll be interviewing Dan Knorr. Let's head inside.
Start off by telling me, who is Dan Knorr? What do you do here at Bloomsburg?
Sure. So I'm our Director of External and Government Relations here in the President's office. And there's a couple of different pieces to that role. I really represent President Hanna to the external community. That's kind of a rundown of what I do here. And I've been with the university 7 years this month as an employee. And I'm an alum from 2007.
Awesome. On July 1st, 2022, Bloomsburg made the decision to merge with Lock Haven and Mansfield. How did that decision come to be? How was that decision made versus some other state schools as well?
Right. So it goes back a little ways, starting really in 2019 when the state system, which governs all 14 state universities, so our system office in Harrisburg, looked to get legislation passed that would allow the system to go a little further than they would otherwise have the power to do. So previously, we didn't actually have the power to merge universities, and so legislative change was made to give that flexibility. And they really looked at which universities were in the most financial distress. So the short way to look at it is universities like Lock Haven and Mansfield, 10 years ago, 2010, 2012, they had a lot more students than they do today, almost twice as many. And they've had significantly declining enrollment over that period, as has Bloomsburg, but to a lesser extent. To the point where at Mansfield, they have about 1,500 students right now, and it's just extremely difficult, if not impossible, to have a full-service, comprehensive public university with only 1,500 students. So at that point, you're looking at two options. You're either closing that campus, which is an anchor for the community, extremely important to them, and if you close it, you're creating really a higher education desert in the northern tier. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep it going, but you really can't keep it going as an independent, sustainable university on its own. So they looked at pulling the three together, because by having one leadership team, one academic array, one budget, we can still have a presence in all three communities. All three campuses can still be open, and together they can be a comprehensive university.
What do you anticipate the merger to look like in the future? Are there any changes to majors or minors or curriculum changes?
Yeah, so curriculum is really undergoing a complete top to bottom overhaul right now. For students here now, there will be no changes. We've committed to students, and also it's a requirement of our accreditor that we see through basically programs that students are in now. So for future students, there will be changes. In a sense, though, the change is that there'll be more options. So even though each campus might have fewer in-person options than it did, so Mansfield, for instance, a student at Mansfield will have access to, through online modalities, to programs at Lock Haven and Bloomsburg that they otherwise wouldn't have. We would never be able to have the dozens of program offerings at just Mansfield if it weren't for integration. So it is going to be a change, but I think over time, what future students will see is that there's actually some more options. And this is something even with the Bloomsburg area students that we were talking about last night, it's attractive for them to be able to come to a state school, but they might not want to go right in their backyard. So in a way, they can go, get an hour away from mom and dad and go to Lock Haven, but still have access to all the program offerings that they would have if they stayed here on the Bloomsburg campus. So it just gives them a little more choice. As far as what we look like, that's a big thing that we're going to really be working on together as a university over the next year. In the spring, we're going to be doing a new strategic plan that really looks out a decade and says, okay, we've merged, we brought these three campuses together. we brought the organizational charts together. Now what do we want this new institution to look like, 5-10 years from now, or even further out? So that's going to be a pretty collaborative process with faculty, staff, and community members and elected officials.
And lastly, as a Bloomsburg University alum, what advice would you give to current students?
Oh, that's a good question. One of the things is just to get involved and not wait. I ran for local elected office here in Bloomsburg when I was a student. I served on our town council when I was a junior and a senior. I ran for mayor when I was a senior. They were incredible experiences, and 90% of people said, "Oh, you're not ready," and they were right. I wasn't. But you can wait forever until you say, "Oh, I've checked all the boxes. I'm completely ready," and that day will never come. You're never going to feel 100% ready to do something. So, I'm not saying people have to run for office, but whatever field students are in, just like aggressively get involved in clubs, organizations, professional associations, internships. Don't sit back and think there's going to be a magical invitation, in Boston that comes to you. It's like you've got to get out, and that's how you're going to make professional connections and get professional opportunities. Thank you so much.
All right, that was great talking with Dan. We'll see you back in the studio.
Thanks, guys, for giving us a behind the scenes of the president's office. Now, let's head on to Sports Corner. Or is it that corner? Which corner is it? I don't know.
I'm joined here today by Bloomsburg men's basketball player Ash Kemble. So, Ash, tell us a little bit about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Your hometown, where you're from, any favorite NBA players you like?
I live outside Lancaster. I'm 20. I'm 6'6", maybe 6'7" on a good day. I wear size 14 shoe. I got 3 siblings, and I play basketball.
So tell me a little about that. What's it like being 6'6", maybe 6'7", walking around campus, everyone looking down on everybody? Like, what's that like?
Not fun, because everyone stares at you all the time.
So coming into the new year, you guys have a new coaching staff, new head coach, just all-around assistants, a bunch of transfers. What are the expectations for the team?
To not suck.
So, historically the team's been very good. 2 outright PSAC championships, 9 more PSAC East championships, 23 PSAC playoff appearances, and 8 NCAA tournament appearances. What's it like to be a part of a program with so much history?
Where'd you get that data? Where'd you get that information?
I can't tell you how accurate it is. Deep online.
Dude, that shit might have went down in the 60s. First off. Second off, I'm just hoping to get more than 5 wins this season. 6 would be a reach, but that's the goal.
All right. So the team has a reputation of being more of like a party team. Are you guys trying to change that?
Now, who gave us that reputation?
I've heard around the grapevine.
Around the grapevine? Well, I didn't partake in such activities last year. I'm a Christian. Now, however, the top half of our team, the older guys, did drink a lot. They were chilling with the Pixies a lot last year. I know that for a fact. But, we're trying to get better, trying to get out from under the bad influences of the sororities and frats like the Pixies, like, your Mr. President over there. But so we've been in the gym more. We've been more focused this year, more focused. But with the new guys are cool. We got 2 or 3 transfers from JUCOs. They're old as hell, but still freshmen somehow, and they're like 23 years old. And then we also got like 3 or 4 freshmen that are just dog shit. So. But we got our returners back. 2 of our key guys are out for the year, so that's going to hurt us. But we're looking pretty good, pretty promising this year.
Great. And when do you guys kick off the season? When's your home opener?
Our home opener, what's the date today?
Today is, I believe, the 1st.
The 1st of November. Our home opener is November 16th.
Great.
That's
Well,
on Wednesday.
hope to see you all there, Huskies. Like Ash said, they're going to try not to suck.
That's it with the questions.
That was really interesting, but I hope the boys team's good this year. I have to cheer, and I'd like it to be fun.
We have a basketball team? Anyway, that's all the time we have for you guys today. Thank you for joining us on The Bird. My name's Jason.
And my name's Eliza.
Have a great night. Stay safe. Don't do drugs. Stay in school.